Welcome to Tulsa Titans, highlighting our local business leaders who are making a difference. Today, I've got Dr. Meshri with me. He's the president and CEO of Advanced Research Chemical. Dr. Meshri, let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much, Kellen. I was born in 1936. I'm 85, and in British India, where now it's a part of the Pakistan. So after the partition, like you see what's happening in Syria and Iraq, my family had to migrate in the middle of the night. I was 11 years old, and we stayed in refugee camp, crossed the border, came to India. Middle of the night, we had to bribe the conductor because picked up a special train. All we about 100 families moved in, and we went into the camp and we lived in a tent. And in those days, the millions of refugees were coming from Pakistan to India. So government could not take care of all everybody. Only the military was there. They bring in the lorry, a truckload breads, and they just throw to each other. You get the bread, that's your total meal, and other lorry will follow with a bucket of water. I mean, with a big tank, and you take the buckets or some container, stay in the line and fill up the water. So you get per family maybe 2, 3 buckets water to drink. Forget about taking a bath or washing your clothes. So you go through that kind of situation. It's a very difficult thing, and then government gives you the $5,000 to go and stay as any place you want to. Leave the camp if you want, or you can rot in the camp. So my family chose to leave the camp and go, and we started a very small business. I come from my father, my grandfather, my grandfather, all were the businessmen and landlords. They owned the land, they grew the crops, had the supplying the groceries, the clothes, all general store type, like Walmart type kind of situation, kind of business. Not that big level, was a small scale, yes, but it was a self-reliant, supplying the people, and so we had a very good life, the family. From there, you come to nothing, you to sit in but sell. But I come from the community known as the Sindhi, Sindhi. Sindhi is a small minority in India, less than even 2% of the population. But 40% India's business is in the hands of Sindhis. So we are one generation back. My civilization goes back to 7,000 years. I come from the Indus Valley civilization, the first human being civilization. If you live in the history of the human race, the first civilization is mentioned in the Indus Valley civilization. Then second is the Egyptian. By great grandparent or ancestors, they back 7,000 years ago, they used to build the boats and travel and ships, go to the to Africa and Asia and do the business and sell the items and they bring back other things. So like an import export business is run. So genetically, I'm a businessman, but the God's gift, I'm a scientist. So it's a combination of two different tradition takes. Yes.
When I think
So
off camera, what I love about your history and all you've been through, but seeing the freedom that being a businessman and a scientist and education can bring, you're very passionate about education. And can you
yes,
share some of the freedom that you see education gives people?
yes, I because I have gone myself through very rough time for the education. Well, as I say, when we came move, we didn't have even food to eat. We after school, I had to go and sell balloons or something in the market to make some money living as an 11-year-old boy. But because of education, And I reached the highest level I can reach it. In the class, I stood first. I got a scholarships. I came to USA also, which was a dreamy. It was a dreamland. I came on a scholarship. So to me, from my own example, I can see if the person is determined and has a self-confidence and studies hard, then you can reach any place. Therefore, education is very, very important. So this is the reason I created some scholarships in the name of my wife, who I lost in 2005 at University of Tulsa, at OSU, and University of Idaho, and I built a school and a college in India of my town where I grew up.
No, that's wonderful, engaging what you've seen work and reinvesting it. And you said something important about your travel here. You said when you moved to America, you saw "In God We Trust." What's so important about "In God We Trust"? What does that mean to you?
Oh, see, you have to be a believer in God and believer in you. It's very important. If you just close your eyes and you trust that this is what God has given me and this is what I want to do it, is God is inspiring me and He is with me. He will not let me fail ever again. No matter what difficult time may come, but I'll be very successful. So that kind of special spiritual strength you get. And so really, like what happens if that a burden or some weight is very heavy, you cannot uplift it. What do? You ask somebody's help to give you the hand. So this way, the burden, difficulty, or challenge you're facing yourself. So who else can help you 24 hours and 7 days a week, anytime you need it? Close the eyes, think of the God, and do it, and you get automatic energy.
Amen. Yeah, you're never alone.
Yeah, and you don't really get up, see literally God come and shake hand with you, but He inspires you. He comes in your body and it tells you and it leads you to the right path. But you must have a trust. If you not the test, then you go before when a lot of people you see, they will say, you want to start the business also. And I'll come that later on my business story. I started with the two people. And the place when I picked up, honestly, I have taken the video. My mother-in-law, who was that time 70 years old, when she walked into the facility, and literally she cried. She said, "What the hell this is going?" She wanted to send me to psychiatrist. Then I'm quitting my job as the director of research of a very good company, very good pay, and I'm going to start something like this in this place. And what will happen? My grandchildren's education, what happened to my daughter, and your mother-in-law, they worry about everything in your house. But again, my trust in God and trust in myself, uh, I have been able to do what I wanted to do it. So,
When you and I talked a lot about that too, and I love that, is the success from business. It's freedom, but you saw a need for colleges and school systems in other countries where you came from. You also saw a need in bathrooms, and you gave me some unique perspectives on needs
yes,
that are out there that we could meet. Can you talk about that a little bit again?
surely I'd be glad to do that. Let's talk for about the bathroom because that's my recent project. I'm very proud of it and very happy about it. Again, God has helped us. We we were a group of the people. I was the president of the organization known as the Alliance of Global Sindhi Association, AGSA. This is the organization of the all the immigrant people from Pakistan. And so I was the president. We have once a year uh, annual convention, and some alternatively we do on the cruise. Now we were on a cruise going to Uh, but I think to Hong Kong and to Barcelona and no, not Barcelona, Hong Kong, then Thailand, and that Far East Asia, and we were about maybe 700-800 people on the ship of my group. And one guy he mentioned, he said, you guys all well off people, take these vacations, having a lot of fun. Have you ever thought our poor brothers and sisters, those who don't have even a single bathroom, and they're being raped, and they're really bad shape? The town named Ulhas Nagar is very close to Mumbai. Mumbai is the number one business center of India, and in that one there's suburb like a Tulsa has a broken arrow. So somebody tells you, have you been to Ulhasnagar? And go and see the people there. What happened in 47 when my family migrated in 47? Other families migrated, and the government, instead of putting in a camp, they made military barracks which were built in 38 or 39 during World War II, and this was for the British military living in the camp. And so as you know, in the military everybody is a young man, 18, 20, 25 years old. So they have one bed, one room for each to live. They had a common kitchen here, and then they build a bathrooms and shower rooms, about 2 3 blocks for the common, say, 1,000 soldiers or 2,000 soldiers. People had rules, but so when the people moved around, the government put into that one there. There's no other housing. And so people lived there, sir. Now, some family, unfortunately, stayed there for 70 years. And some people moved or some stayed there because it was a free government and they get a little bit money, worker, but they had no bathroom. They had just little, uh, maybe a room will be about 12 by 60 feet. The part kitchen is 4 by 4, and rest of the bed, and people, 5 6 people live in that house, and there's no room for the bathroom, or they didn't government. Everybody has to walk. Now, when they were young, that was a fine. But when the people become old, somebody had a diarrhea or the middle of the night, they had to go, or they had young daughters, 16, 18 years old, they had to go to the toilet. Yes, when they walk, go to the common toilet, which was about 3 4 blocks, and somebody at the night, middle of the night, had a diarrhea, and somebody will follow and rape those girls. And many girls don't come and tell the parents, and ended up committing suicide. So this was really sad. If you go there, you will definitely will cry. I mean, it's a horrible, horrible situation. So when I heard that, I said, well, something could be done. I'm going to come after this trip to Mumbai and go to Ulhasnagar to visit myself. So I collected about 4 people with me, friends. Did go to when I saw this one, I could not believe it. So we discussed about locally. I set up the local committee, and I contributed some my own money. I contributed, asked the other people with me, friends, and so we decided two. Now this room is, as I told earlier, 12 by 16 feet. Out of the 4 by 4 is taken away by the kitchen. Then pick up a little room, another 4 by 4 in the corner, and build a bathroom. There was no running water coming in, so we had to install outside the pump through the city. Is water connect and buy the about 55-gallon tanks. put on the top of that, here build the bathroom and toilet. You wouldn't, it costs about $1,000 to $1,500 each houses. That sometime we did renovation, we broke the wall, they say, well, fix our kitchen or floor. We fixed the floor also. That cost a little more money, but we did that for 230 homes. And people were so, they thought this is a, you gave them the world gift. So very, very nice. I take up several trips and videos. It's an amazing thing to see that you do little work for somebody who doesn't have anything, how good that person feels in the heart. So, anyway, so that's about that. Okay, now for the business about my deal, I worked for 18 years as a research director for a company named Ozark Mahoney, and we become the part of the Penn World. And Penn World become the part of Atrochem. Atrochem become the Atofina. So I, I decided one day that really to to uh, uh, be some creative, be your own boss. Then how you require the money, you require the people, you require the place. And chemical business, as you know, that it's a very difficult business. It's not simple that you can go. And there are a lot of chemical companies in the world. You have to look around the competition. So you want to be unique and create something which very few have it, or you are the only one. So be that creative. So I thought of that one, did a planning around, needed some money, and there is a look like, you have to learn to live with a minimum amount of money. And I first borrowed 100,000 from Stillwater Bank, and that they gave me a very hard time just for 100,000. Now I can borrow 100 million, but in those days, when you're starting and nothing, they say, well, you mortgage, you put your collateral, your house. I say, look, two things I will never do: my house and my wife, the collateral. But I give my personal guarantee, to the extent. So anyway, the young vice president was Jeff Kendall. He was a really good guy, and he agreed to give me money. And then I had a couple of 100,000 saved my own, and then I borrowed a couple of 100,000 from you people like you, and we started with the two people, two technicians, 1987, and the place was horrible. It was 86 was a bad year. Oil prices went down to the $10 a barrel, and companies were going bankrupt. So this particular place in the port had gone bankrupt, and totally trash. And not only people have got married, they had to put the holes, run bulldozer through the building. There are bigger holes, and they have always plastic around there, and they broken toilet. If you see the picture, you will think I'm crazy to start something. Really, nobody said. Now I think same person will take that place. But I did get that one and renovated that building and started it with two people slowly. But then, so being creative, I was very for the long stories of the success, how I got General Motors business, then uh, the all automobile industry, Intel, then electronic, I went Intel, Motorola, Samsung, all those things, products I developed. And we grew up from 2 to 5 to 10, 50, 100. Now we have 200 people.
That's wonderful and such a cool story. I do want to dig in as an immigrant coming from one of the smallest populations where you came from,
Yes.
starting a business when everybody was going bankrupt, and you had to have those thoughts in your mind in all those difficult seasons. What are some of the things that you thought of, or some of the things that led you to continue to push forward when times were so bad?
Well, yeah. If I look back at the clock, that considering all and in 80, in this country, I came in 62. And so I started business in 86. So I had a pretty good experience about the culture, about the needs, about the people. And I didn't realize that whether you're two people or 200 people or 2,000 people or 20,000 people, human beings, you people are very important, and you be very selective and get the skillful people and treat them like a people. That's very important. I'll define that a little bit later on. Treat them like a people. Then you can get lot of mileage on your gallon gas. But and you have to first come to at their level, not your level, and then you upgrade them, bring to up to your expectations. And if you look at every individual with your spectacles, and you will feel that, well, this is not qualified, this is not, now he can, I'm the only one can do it. Then you're dead failure. You're never going to succeed. Have a faith, again, trust in God. Look at the good people, listen to them, and give them an opportunity and guide them, and be very specific and clear what exactly you want. Just saying I'm hungry is not enough. The guy doesn't know. Go to metro or bring you pizza, or bring you a steak. Be more specific what you are mood eating it. Then you make other person's job easy, and he or she will do the best job. So many times many executives fail. There are a lot of assumptions, and you assume it, and the thing that person assumes different. That nothing that's this is not working out.
No, what good advice. So you had a niche in the chemical industry. So you look for a niche, but it's all
Yes,
about people. So as you grew your company, you found
niche.
gifted and talented people, treated them human,
Yes,
understood that they can't be on your level, and then poured into them as human. What I like that you said, where I see a lot of especially small companies fail, is when you ask them to do something, you were very specific and clear
yes,
about what you expected and how to do it, and then
yes.
followed up with them as human.
Yes. See, when I started again, even with the two people, started on the two principles, which is, I mean, the four principles, they still are good, and still we convey to our associates QSPS. QSPS. Q is for the quality. Whatever your dream is, you want to produce, make a quality. You're doing this new quality work. God, so quality. S is service. You may have best quality, but there's a big line, or you're not going, you're going to go 3 weeks from now delivery. The people going to look some other source. So QS. P is the price. Is the quality is an excellent restaurant. Service is a superb, but price costs you $10,000, you say, or $500 dinner. You say, no, thank you. I have a pocket $40. I'm going to go to so and so place. I can't afford it. So your product must be high quality. Then it should be excellent service. Then the price must be affordable and comparable. And then it said other S, QSPS. S is for the safety. Safety of the individual is very important. In chemical industry, when I started, it was a bad year because in 85, Bhopal took place, the disaster. Bhopal killed over 100,000 people, were injured 10,000 or 20,000 died. Union Carbide had the plant, and it was an accident, and Since then, Union Carbide declared bankruptcy and they closed down. There no more Union Carbide. It was one of the largest company of USA, oldest company, Union Carbide. So from that lesson was there, and insurance for the chemical industry had gone up. Normally, for $1 million used to cost $5,000 per $1 million insurance per a year, and it jumped to $50,000. Right,
Yeah.
and most of the companies, insurance company was not even insuring chemical companies. Now situation has changed, but first 5 years was this big challenge for the chemical industry. People thought they knew, it was worldwide known. Bhopal, just you look, Google it, Bhopal, you will see it. It was a disaster, and even today, some people are suffering from it, what they inhaled. So it is a very critical for the chemical industry. You have to be careful. You have the safety, and some product is such a designer. You have to stay away or spend enough money from the safety. Human life is very important to you. You take care of your people. As a, if you come to argue, you'll see that we have one of the very good benefits for the people, associates, for their health, safety. We spend tons of money on the safety, providing them face masks, clothes, protective clothes, training, video, giving them tests. We go through all this thing because I want the people, those who come to work in the morning smiling, they go home back, go and kiss their wife and children rather than kicking the dog. So they should be happy and go back and do the good job. So these are the very big challenges. It's easy to talk about it, but getting through all people's head, we will do it. It takes some kind of the courage and planning.
When it's a beautiful why, you're not saying this because we've got to operate. You're not saying it because our insurance will go up. You're saying that people need to
Yeah.
go home to their families. So we're going to do the
Yes.
best.
Yeah.
It's a,
All those challenges. Yeah.
so I'm curious, doctor, in this stage in life, as you look back and a lot of the things that you've learned, is there one or two people that you admire, and what did you learn from them and why?
Well, needless to say, Bill Gates, I admire him. First thing, most I admire, the top on my list are my teachers, because through them, through their care and training me and passing knowledge to me, I'm a very grateful. I'm indebted to my schools. I went to in India, a University of Gujarat University, Gujarat College. I went to Institute of Science Bombay. Then I went to Notre Dame. I went to University of Idaho. Then I went to Cornell. So I have banged in many myself in many schools about 23 years around. So, yes. So, and I learned from my teachers. And this is why I'm greatly indebted. Every professor, every teacher has his own characteristic. And you keep your eyes, and you are young, you learn to from them good qualities, controlling yourself, planning yourself, doing the things. But now, when you see about what Bill Gates has achieved, look at his background in education and where he has taken the company, and how much charity he and his wife they do for the humanitarian cause around the world. So I have a very high. Some person may have a money. I'm sorry to compare Trump versus Bill Gates. And uh, money can be with the Trump, and here with the Bill Gates. So Bill Gates Foundation has done a great job. So I have a for admiration for him, and Lee Iacocca or Welch from General Electric. Those people were great administrators, and they have done the companies they took out different. Where do they bring it out? So learning is being in a business. I look from that point of view. Good administrator. How do they manage the difficult problems of the people? How do they get did the teamwork brought together? How they inspire your associates? It's said that if you are really good capable person, you capable manager, you should be able to get time 10 times more from the other person than he will get himself. It means you explore and exploit that individual's ability. Is a manager's responsibility to see the potential in the individual and explore it.
Well, I'm very curious about this too. So as you continue to grow your business and start organizations and build and see need as you travel and meet that need, are three things that you're consuming more of and making more time for? And then when we make more time for things, we've got to cut other things off. So what have you eliminated?
Well, yes. The first thing, right now, I'm spending more time on my personal health. I'm 85. I want to stay alert. I want to stay healthy, which means a little more getting work done from at the age of your exercise, your yoga, your diet. All this is very important. If you're not healthy, you feel sick, you don't think right, and you don't are in mood creating something new or being active or participating. So health is very important. The first thing. So on that one, and the second is you take care of the social isolation, uh, and but still keeping social isolation and still interacting and doing the work. So spending more time on this, like you and I, right now we're sitting on here and talking it. It's not the excuse that because of coronavirus we're not having meeting, we cannot have it, but we still can talk on Zoom and see each other do that. So that takes quite a bit of time and planning, and then the view of the spending time, or make sure that plan. Though my son is the managing director, Sanjay, he handles 95% of the business and affairs, but still going there and seeing for a short time, inspiring the people is important to feel the assurance that I'm not making myself uh, unavailable or so. It's a setting the example of your absolute duty is there. So that's what I'm doing it now. What have I'm not doing or I cut down? So because you're limited time, I used to travel a lot. So I have reduced my travel to zero. I used to travel at least minimum 3 to 4 months a year out all the countries, Europe, Asia, Russia, Latin America, you name it, I have been there. So, but now I have not left Tulsa since 2020 January. I've been here in town. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. And second thing, I'm a social animal. I love to have the friends and parties. It's not unusual that every week we have 40, 50 people or 100 people having fun, music, dancing, party, at least once in a week. So you must enjoy the life and meet and come. When you see more often people, you become more close and become way far. Then you get isolated out. So that, and definitely I do miss going out to the restaurants, other places. So those have been cut down, the minimum time you spend on. So in personal entertainment, uh, and traveling. Traveling is my big hobby. I'm on a couple of universities, honorary professor. I give talk and then people. And once I was in Minsk and Belarus. My flight was late, and the kids were waiting for about 5 hours. And so it turned to be the evening, and still I asked the dean of the school, I said, "You sure you want to have my talk? Is it too late? Is the evening?" He said, "No, no, kids want to see so that." So we started something like 6 o'clock, and till 8, 9 o'clock, they wanted to take me out for dinner. And lot of students had done about my biography, learn, and one young girl about 21, 22, she got up and she asked me, she said, uh, Dr. Meshri, understand you're a successful businessman, you achieved this, and why would you still work? At that time I was 75 years old. He said, "You're 75 years old. Why not some on an island? Go and live it and have more fun than you're still working it." I said, "Why I prison myself?" She said, "What do you mean, prison?" I said, "Look, I isolate myself, stay away from my friends and civilization, and look forward to when I'm going to die. I mean, there's nothing to do here. I enjoy seeing you people, young people. I come around, give lecture, we have fun. So I'm a free bird. I love to fly around and move and see a lot of people there." So those girls, it's a communist country. And honestly, the next day didn't cost me. Everybody says, "Well, I'm a free bird. I want to be free." So you inspire it, the people differently, and you learn different things, people's issues. But I'm a free bird, yeah.
No, I love that. When you're still full of joy and you're interacting with others. I think we miss something, and I think people are some of the most interesting things we can interact and study with.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. You learn so much from other people, and you there's no limit or end to your education, no matter how old you are. You see different people, you see different culture. You try to understand from their point of view. You really enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Well, speaking of learning, I know the audience loves to read. If you could only take two books with you when you traveled and go back through them, what would those books be?
Well, uh, one alchemist. Have you seen the book Alchemist? It's a very nice story of Spanish boy, and he in a dream he sees a treasure, and so he really wants to get up and follow that one there, and he goes through a lot of the troubles, meets gypsies and meets the people, different cultures. So somebody tells how to make a gold out of lead, the magic stone, and he tries. He goes in the desert, and finally he really somebody told him, go in Egypt, so and so place. Is a big treasure there. Gold trunk is buried. And so he starts wants to go to Egypt, and then there he meets the other guy, Gypsy, and then he gets into trouble with local people having war. They capture him, Then finally he gets out of that, and the other gypsy tells him the treasure is in the Spain in the at so and so temple under the tree. You go and dig it, and then finally he goes there, picks up the gold. He really digs there. Now, and then he had during going to Egypt, he had met a girl, so he loved her, but he left and came back to Spain to get the gold. Then went back to go the girl. So he moves back to the Egypt. But more of the story is in this thing. You see lot of tornadoes in the life. You see your dream, you be determined to follow to the dream, and whatever the hurdles come at you, you pass through it and keep working don't give it up, and you are automatically ending up uh, successful. Your dream comes true. In other words, learn the life. You want to dream to be a doctor, you dream to be like a physician, you dream to be a painter, you want to dream to certain artist, dancer, uh, you will achieve it. You want to fight in the Olymp, you want to be the Olympic winner, gold winner, but you must have a dream. Without dream, you cannot succeed. That's the thing. Whole summary of the book is, and you can see the little boy dreaming going on. So I came here as a dreaming coming to America and ended up here in Tulsa. And Jacquel's book is a very good, it's an excellent book. I will strongly recommend to every manager in a country in the US must read it, because he is a very skillful manager. He knows human psychology. He knows the people. How do you make a teamwork? You build a team, and so you had to pick up the people with a similar interests and similar thing, and those who don't have that kind of background, you bring them up to the speed or teach them or send some place, learn, and but bring make a solid team. Now in the solid team, some may be very genius and not get along with the other people, and so one goes, each other goes the best direction. To bring them back together, walk together, and support each other, it's a very skillful challenge to do that. And second thing, teaches the human, you have to treat a person, your subordinate, uh, respectfully and understanding that he is human being. Put yourself in his shoes, his or her shoes, and put the other person being your boss. What kind of treatment would you expect? And don't come and say, hey, yeah, George, why didn't you do this? Charlie, I want you to do this one. No, you say, sit down and say, thank you. I wonder if you would have time. I have this project, and I had to submit this one in 48 hours. How could you help me? And or you an idea, I want to write the proposal. And so get them involved, get them importance, and also treat them with the respect as you would like to be respected. So a lot of their manager skill and human psychology and treating them, whether the guy, he can work his 18 hours butts off and still feel good that I achieve it. When he achieved it, give him a credit. Don't take a credit by yourself. Give him a mention, him to do it. So that thing. And then, of course, number two is important what teaches people why the people come to work. They have bills to pay. So you should reward proportionally to the person and not discrimination or somebody doing extra superior work, then you give incentive accordingly, yes, but compensation proper, make sure that it taken good care of it. And give them also opportunity the what's the promotion or where they're going to go from there. A lot of people want to come and stay this level, they don't want to move forward. The other one always thinking about where to go, so those people has to be promoted or given raise or being to certain level. If you don't do it, they'll be looking for some other person. So there are a lot of small things, some very big things, and how to be competitive, how to get a competitive product, what to do. So and that you need a people for that, and those skillful people. And never ever think that you are the smartest man in the world. No, there are a lot of people smarter than you. You must get the people who are smarter than you. They can help you. The people who are dumb, they take a year's order and they will dump you. So be open, listen to them, and if it's worth taking a chance, give them a chance.
Well, Dr. Meshri, it was a pleasure. If somebody has a question for you or wants to get a hold of you, there's so many ways people try to communicate now with all the apps and technology. What's your preferred method for somebody to reach out to you if they have a question?
To me, if you send text message or something like that, if you give me the call, that'd be fine. I take with my secretary, because I have my hours divided regularly. My normal life is a little bit different than everyone's. Uh, so I'll be glad to answer if somebody has a questions. Yes.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
just call Advanced Research Chemical.
Yeah, as if I'm right, I will answer. I answer my all mails. My is open, so either way could do it. But sometimes I don't know have time. There's a lot of demand. Some universities, some foundations, some school. I mean, the responsibility management and running around my little bit business. It may take maybe a day or two extra. Don't expect that you just send me, and next 10 minutes you will get a reply. But if you send me a text message or fax, you will get probably end of the day answer.
Yeah, I know you stay busy.
A little bit busy. I keep myself busy.
That's good.
Yes.
You got to. And thank you
Yeah.
for the wonderful advice. And everybody, thank you. It's Kellen Cowan, New Wave Solutions, one of the partner here. Dr. Meshri, again, sincerely, thank you for giving today.